Would you believe me if I told you these are the first words I've said all day? Do you think that's air you're breathing right now? It actually is. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. We're in match 2 of the current 3v3 season, and it's getting interesting. There, we won our first match. The guy kind of handed it to me, but I think we might have had a pretty good chance of winning anyways. Acquitted ourselves well. Now I'm up against a much stronger roster and opponent, and I guess let's just take a look at it. You guys can see the compare here, and I'm ahead in Datacrons a little bit, and then everything else I'm way behind. You can see I'm about 1 million GP lower than my opponent, and all of those mods and everything just totally outmatched, outclassed, outgunned, outmatched. Probably already said that. You know, relics, everything but Datacrons. Crons I have a little bit of advantage, nothing too crazy. So, you know, he's from one of the Ka guilds, I think Ka Patrol, Ka something. I don't know, guys. Let's see. Before we jump in, just want to remind you all, if you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is like, subscribe, comment, help me mount the algorithm, folks. We're trying to get to the top 15. This match, top 10, whatever it is, should be a good time. Maybe let's jump into the actual fighting, shall we? We're gonna try today to do this little weird number system, the slideshow thing. I don't really know if that's gonna pan out, but let's try it and see if I can keep up with it. And if not, we'll just call it a bad experiment and go away. But once we get down to once we get to 15. That will be potentially my final fight. We'll see. It's just like a countdown. We have 15 ground battles is what I'm trying to say. And we'll see if I can clear. My opponent placed 1 Galactic Legend that I could see, and I have 4 on offense this time. So, gotta clear the front zone with as much efficiency as possible. Well, not just efficiency, but with as many non-Galactic Legend teams as possible, because my opponent might be hiding all the Galactic Legends in the back. I don't know. I didn't scout my opponent. I just don't lately, especially in 3v3. I'm like, well, but maybe it could work a little bit. I'm not totally sure, but one way or another, it doesn't. It's not worth the hours and hours of work that I would have to put into it. And even though this guy is, you know, we're in the top. What, I'm number 25 right now. He's number 24, something like that. I just didn't. I don't want to use all this time and effort, frankly, to try to get there. So, yeah, it doesn't seem to pay off too much, anyways. Okay, so we're doing the Jabba, or Aphra versus Jabba fight again, and this time it's going much smoother. I'm keeping in mind my Datacron that I have on the team, which means if you use a basic, you get another turn right away, well, after your first basic, and that's a pretty good deal, in my opinion. Like, you want to do that, especially because you want to get out from under the thumb of that hut, whatever it's called, the thing that Boosh does to you so that you can't attack out of turn. So, anyways, it's going a lot smoother this time. You know, high relics, well-modded team. There wasn't an Omicron on Chrysanid. I don't think that would have made a huge difference, but there is something to keep in mind. So, I mean, 3v3, Aphra versus Jabba. It works until the Datacron is gone, at least, so good to go, I suppose. Alright, next up, we've got Hondo versus CLS. Now, this is CLS with the cool Chewpio Datacron. And after watching a lot of different teams fail against this, fail and flail, I decided, you know what, let's just use Hondo. I think Hondo, especially with his new Datacron, really works. It should work pretty well here. And so we're just putting Luke into prison, and as long as we can. You can see the little handcuffs icon above his head. That means that we have him for ransom or something like that. we're just trying to remember. So the Chewpio Cron does a lot of things. It ramps Chewpio's damage up every time he attacks out of turn, which he does a lot, as you can see. But then he also, yeah, look at how he just healed all the way. Everyone's getting bonus protection every time he does something. It's a whole mess, guys. And so we just gotta slowly put an end to this. I don't think Hondo's the answer against a 5v5 team with 3 Chewpio, but he definitely worked this time. So decent banners too, 55. And let's see. Now we've got. I'm gonna use Traya versus this. So there's a lot going on here, folks. There's 2 tanks in the form of Savage. Savage isn't quite, I guess he's not exactly a tank, but he is a nuisance a little bit. And you know, he's the lead, so he's giving everyone a bunch of extra defense. And then Malak, of course, is going to slowly try to take our lives with his Force Drain. And then HK has his his Datacron, which means he's going to fear every time he does a special. So one thing that I made a mistake here, folks. I made a mistake. What I should have done is have Nihilus kill Malak first with his Annihilate. Well, I should have had him just kill him right away anyway. So, watch what happens. So he kills Savage just naturally because with Isolate on him, he can't do anything. He doesn't get his buffs. He doesn't get anything cool. And he can't have nice things. Okay, so I should have just pulled the trigger here now. But I wanted to get Scion's protection all the way up. Now, the problem with that is, the reason you don't want to do that is that, well, it works with a Nihilus that doesn't have his unique Zated. However, he has his unique Zated, which means at the start of every turn, he puts a damage over time on a random character, a random opponent character, and that means that Malak gets the damage over time every time, and that means every time he reflexively puts fear on any character who puts fear on, or puts damage over times on him. So the only time that Nihilus doesn't get feared by that is when he doesn't apply the dot on his turn, which means Malak has to resist. And we're running out of time, guys. We have 1 minute left, and Scion isn't anywhere close to having max protection here. So hopefully Nihilus gets a turn. Finally he gets a turn. Right toward the end there. Jeez. Alright, next we have this Maul with Canderous and Armorer. They have the turn meter Cron and everything. And so you want to make sure that, you know, we have to kill Canderous before he takes a turn. Otherwise it goes all the way to hell. But I'm using dash here. My dash was faster than any of them, and so I knew I could get days onto Maul, so that his frenzy wasn't going to work. And yeah, I managed to manage that fight pretty well, I think. Well, we got 57, so it seems like it. Now, I'm speeding this fight up because you guys have seen me do it a ton of times. You just do Sith Eternal versus, I mean, this is the good version of Malgus. I mean, unfortunately for Malgus, Sith Eternal Emperor just still destroys it. But, I mean, Sith Eternal destroys every version of Malgus, frankly, without using Watt, without using Armorer. In 3v3, in 5v5 it's different. Like, they can probably drag you down to the pit in 5v5, but if you try to solo it, I mean, you probably just take Watt and call it good. But you just gotta wait. It's a little nerve-wracking sometimes because you don't have ability block. Well, you sometimes do have ability block, and that's the nerve-wracking part. But overall, I was pretty happy with this zone. Like, we're only using 1 Galactic Legend to clear, and that means we have 3 left for whatever nonsense he's got in the back zone. So I got the 58 and move right along. Pretty good zone for me, I would say. I wondered if he'd put a ton of GLs or not. As it turned out, he put REY with IPD on it with Ben and everything. We'll deal with that later, I guess. So let's take out up top. He's got General Skywalker, and didn't want to use a GL here if I could help it. I didn't really have that many options, frankly. Like, General Skywalker has more and more things that can counter him, but it's not there yet, right? So the question always is, do you kill Rex so that 5 sacrifices himself and you create a Super Rex who has way less armor? Or do you just try to kill 5s? And I decided to just bludgeon my way all the way through. I was trying to figure out at what point I should try to regenerate my stacks. Decided to do that. I didn't get all of the stacks back because his AoE didn't kill Rex, but we did get through him pretty easily. And Candace has all these stacks of protection, and poor old General Skywalker is just not up to the task of getting through them that quickly, because he's getting rid of 1 stack every hit. And then Armor can't hit him because she is dazed, but that's apparently fine. And there we go, 55 banners is a pretty acceptable number of banners, I would say. Alright, so this is the new Sortie Cron. So when you kill something that has repair, the repair will come back once Sortie takes a turn. Or spare parts is what it's called. So I decided, okay, let's kill BB-8 here first. That'll be cool, and then BB-8 will come back because of the repair Cron. And remember, it doesn't... okay, so here's where I realized my mistake. The VIP is on T3, not on BB-8, and so I probably should have tried killing T3 so the VIP would go away. I don't know if that would have gone away, in fact. But one way or another. Okay, we got to kill BB-8. If we can kill BB-8 again before before Sortie takes a turn, then that's great. Then we've got a chance. Then we've got to try to kill Sortie. But then turns out we can't. We just can't with this team. And I thought Trooper's going to work. I think the VIP thing just saves them, frankly. I don't want to give you guys spoilers necessarily, but you can see, I mean, Veers is already gone. Let's see, what can we do? Can we just punch T3 into oblivion? If we could do that and gain enough turn meter. Oh, man. I didn't realize he was that close to dead. Dang it. That would have been so good. But then T3 just, I mean, they just kind of delete him. Hey, let's kill T3. T3 comes back. I didn't get enough turn meter. And then they get repair, or they get the spare parts again. And it is over. So got the fail here. Decided to bring in Mon Mothma with Kyle Katarn and Pow. Or Poe, or Plo. One of those P words, guys. Yeah, so, I mean, this is a different fight if BB-8's here, of course. So I wouldn't say that this is the best counter ever, but the thing is, you do get enough turns that you can kind of go back-to-back kills so that Sortie doesn't get a turn. And as long as you can survive long enough, you're good to go. I don't know, I would like to try it with Mon Mothma. Again, this Cron is pretty disturbing in how difficult it can be to take out. We just need to get to the point where... So you see how she generates so many stacks of protection up? What you need to do, so Kyle Katarn has his AoE. Well, it turns into an AoE once he's promoted to Jedi Knight, but that means there's no buffs allowed on Sortie, and so you're able to just slowly take Sortie out. There we go. Pretty efficient cleanup. Really, like, that was the most banners you can get for it. And now we're going to try another thing, another science piece. So this is a Jedi Training REY team that normally would just get completely destroyed by Iden's team. However, first off, they have a ton of relics. Jedi Training REY is the lowest at Relic 7, but the big thing is they have a Datacron that makes it so that they can get crit once, but then the next 2 turns that they have, they can't be crit at all. You can't. They're immune to crits. Or maybe it's more like they get less. There's fewer crits available or something. Or like they're 100% crit immune, something like that. They get crit avoidance 100%. There we go. So trying to kill Finn. It's also the Finn Cron, so that means that he's getting foresight all the damn time. So I'm like, all right, fine. Let's try to kill Poe here. If we can kill Poe, then we'll be able to stomp this out. Like he's continually giving these guys inspired, which we don't want. We don't want him to hit us back like that. That's part of the problem. You can see all these counterattacks and everything, but we just can't do enough damage. Like, there's too much interference. Like, the only thing that really saved me at all in this fight, like for any reason at all, was the fact that I had that they just really wanted to kill Iden for some reason. And, you know, Iden just keeps reviving, of course. I didn't do that if I were you. But they have such good regeneration here. It's just a mess. We can't do enough damage, guys. Can't look at this. He's even got exposed. I'm like, oh, delete him, get him. And then, I mean, just we can't get back to him in time. And I don't know. Maybe I could have played this better. I don't know. I kind of just got too distracted. But I don't really think so. Like, I mean, part of it is just they have. They also, my opponent put a crazy amount of health on these guys. Crazy amounts of health on them. And so, yeah, you can see it's just a mess. We can't do anything, and we're about to time out. So it's kind of an annoying Cron. I tried to roll this Cron, actually, and it's very, very rare. I can't do it. Okay, so I forfeited, got out of there so that I'm not turn meter loading him. And then, so let's, we're going to keep the count down on this because we didn't actually beat that team. And, yeah, this is team number, if we beat this one, it'll be the 8th team that we've beat, I believe. I think I've kept up with it otherwise. So this is with the Droideka Datacron on it, and they get, whenever they do a basic, they put target lock on me, so it's kind of a mess. I wanted to try Night Sisters. I've traditionally loved using Night Sisters, this 3-man Night Sister team on it. I wouldn't recommend it without pretty decent relics, but you can see we got a 55, and not too bad, especially with that cool Grievous Cron. So let's just ignore that Jedi Training Rey team and fight the Rey team itself. Now remember, this is with IPD Cron. The IPD Cron means that if you kill IPD early, then that gives his entire team 100%, like they recover 100% health, and they get 100% extra offense. So that means Ben and Rey both have double offense numbers now, which is real scary. But if you kill IPD later in the match, after you've killed someone else, then IPD can have a chance to revive them, depending on if you've used someone that doesn't allow revives at all or not. So what we're trying to do, we need to get both of them into damage immunity at some point. So she's doing her ult. Now, it's scary because you look at her turn meter. Because she's slowed down while she's in her ult, you actually have to take a leap of faith that you're doing the right thing and just do an extra turn, and then you lap the opponent Rey, and you're able to get into ult right before she pops it. So pretty scary, but all right, got Ben into damage immunity, great. And now let's just keep putting our, remember we're ramping damage as well. We have the new Datacron that lets us ramp damage a little bit. We got to get Rey into yellow here. Put healing immunity on her real quick. Oh good, she actually got herself into the yellow by herself. Evaporate their Ben, and he can't come back, even though he's got the Omicron to do it. He can't come back because Whirlwind does not allow revives. And then we don't actually have our ult available. We're still at 96%, which is a little bit scary here. So, okay, let's just heal. We're gonna have to just take it on the chin here. Hopefully we don't die. Apparently we had enough bonus protection that we're good to go. And I decided to just hit my ult so that I could have a chance to heal with Hoda one more time. And then I didn't even use the ult. Ben took her out, and you know he's been boosting his damage as well. So got a perfect score on that. And now, okay, like Inquisition versus this Qui-Gon Jinn team, as long as you're fast enough here. So, just trying to figure out, alright, what do we want to do? We have a Datacron that makes it so that if we kill Qui-Gon, we immediately all get damage immunity. So, Anakin gets his bonus turn, and doesn't get to do anything with it. Which I think I already put ability block on him anyways, so haha. He just does his basic, which is cool. Let's kill Anakin real quick. And now, you know, we have a Datacron that dispels all the buffs, and there's a real easy one if you have the right Datacron. And alright, so let's do a redo. I have Gidme here, and yeah, so everyone's got a ton of health. Tons of health. No, not a ton of extra protection. A lot of health, which means our courage just does a crazy amount of damage here. And took it out real easy. That would have been a 57 if I had just thought to use it before, because my Gideon, even though he had a really fast Rey, or Jedi Training Rey, and Finn was the fast one. Even though he had a really fast Finn, my Gideon is 380 and way faster, just like 30 speed faster. So, alright, he's got Hux here in the back with First Order TIE Pilot, so gives them all a bunch of extra speed, of course. So they're going to go first, but my Jedi are, you know, we get Savior, potentially, and we start with Foresight. So they didn't, this particular group, like Phasma is such a weird choice here, because Phasma doesn't do anything except, I mean, like, feed some turn meter, I guess, sure, but yeah, no, it didn't really do that much. Doesn't do that much damage, especially with Foresight there. So, alright, now we've still got 2 Galactic Legends, and we've got Star Killer. So, the last 3 fights, let's just try to get as many banners as possible here. So, yeah, they did get ability block on all of us. That's no fun. Okay, you kill Sana first, because she's kind of the linchpin here, and she doesn't have some kind of auto-revive thing to trigger. So, now we're just trying to call the right people to assist, so that they can... So that they can regenerate a few hit points, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really work that well. 55, we dropped a couple, but... Alright, cool. Let's see. Here's the Star Killer team, but I decided to go against AdRad here with Star Killer, because I thought that there was a decent chance that they'd last long enough so that I could get my Star Destroyer healing off. But Star Killer just really wanted to kill Admiral Raddus as hard as he could. And let's see. I don't think Raddus had his Omicron here either, so it's extra easy, I suppose. 3v3, Admiral Raddus is really strong until he isn't, and K2 has his cool K2 Cron, but it's just not enough. He's not actually a Galactic Legend, even though people say that because his Cron has similar abilities. And then I have Supreme Leader Kylo left. They have Nest Lead with the cool Nest Cron. My opponent really went heavy on the new Crons here on defense. But we really want to just kill Nest because she's annoying. And then I guess we could just keep reducing the mastery on IG until we can kill him. I mean, this team isn't going to counter any of my... Like, they have tenacity down, and look at that, there's 1 hit point left on IG-11, like, we've reduced his mastery a lot. I was trying to figure out, like, does that actually mean he only has 1? Like, what, how did we reduce it that much? Must be magic. So he's dead, and, yeah, so, alright, a couple fails, and, really pretty clean attack phase, to be honest, on the ground. Now, I guess we'll turn the numbers off here, folks, because I didn't have them for fleets. We gotta get fleets going though. So, all right, he put Executor and Profundity on defense here, and so we're using our quote-unquote new team here, new Executor team, Executrix team, I should say, with Scythe. And the thing is, they made their Profundity slower somehow. I don't really know how, but my Gauntlet went a time before he should have, and so the most nervous thing about this whole fight, okay, they killed the shuttle, which isn't my favorite thing, but we finally got our bomber in. I'm always nervous that I'm not going to have a reinforcement come in, or that they're not going to be able to come in because my opponents haven't killed any of the TIE fighters yet. So... Alright, we killed the Y-Wing, I guess. The Y-Wing did come in and we killed it, so haha. Screw you, Y-Wing. I think that so it started with the Biggs X-Wing, and I think the reason for that, if I had to speculate, I don't know for sure, but I think that that's to address people using the Executor to get really high scores on against Profundity. It's because the Biggs X-Wing, you can't use bounty hunters to ignore a piloted ship, a pilot-free ship like Y-Wing. Of course, you can ignore. You can ignore the taunt. So, anyways. We're just kind of doing the best we can here, folks. I guess there's no turn meter, but we can get a bunch of buffs here at least. And poor old Tarkin, man, just got destroyed. Let's try to kill Falcon, I guess. All right, so we got the Phoenix hanging out together, and screw you, Phoenix. We're good to go. Not the best banners. Dropped 9 banners on that one, but got through it in one shot, which is nice. Now we've got our own Profundity against their Executor. And so you kill IG, you know, the Relic 9, IG 88 ship, IG 2000, I guess. And then, let's see. Yeah, someone raided me on Twitch just in time to see this awesomeness. So no protection allowed on Xanadu Blood, and Xanadu Blood just dodged all the shots, and we couldn't kill it. And then, yeah, they killed the Falcon, which is pretty rare as well. All right, Ghost can come in, do the AoE, and kill the Xanadu Blood, right? No, Xanadu Blood dodged, and things are looking pretty critical here. Not looking great. Yeah, Ghost is gone, I guess. I don't know. I didn't want to hand the turn meter to a ship that already had a ton of turn meter. But then, look, they already have they have Slave 1 doing their thing. Or they have Slave 1 here, they have their contract with their undispellable stuff, and then they destroy the Profundity. Because sometimes that happens on this counter, and it made me real frustrated. It was just, I mean, sometimes bad RNG hits you. It's no fun, but that's what happened. All right, poor old Relic 8 First Order Officer just dying, and then Xanadu Blood is hiding out, so you can't kill it yet. Gotta kind of treat it like a normal First Order fight versus this. Okay, can we actually kill Xanadu Blood? Thank you. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh. But, I mean, we're totally screwed here because we Silencer's already gone, basically. Silencer's gone. Yeah, there we go. Goodbye, Silencer. So now the goal is, can we kill anything else here? Got close to killing Slave 1, but then, you know, we didn't, so there's that. There they got the heal on Slave 1. Now there's the taunt on this a-hole, but we can maybe dispel it. If we can survive long enough, maybe we can get someone else in and they can kill Slave 1. Oh my gosh, can we just freaking kill Slave 1 ever? Thank goodness. Man. Killing me here. Killing me. Okay, so only 2 ships left. But we don't have many good fleets left anyways, so let's take Malevolence in and get our low banner win against their Radis if possible. Remember, if we try to stun anyone, Radis is going next. Like, Sunfac is so awkwardly sped up, or, you know, like he's in an awkward place in terms of speed because he goes before Radis there, but then if he stuns anyone, they all have buffs, so you want to do it, but then Radis goes and just cleanses it, so I just, you know, alright, let's just do a basic, I guess. Get rid of Foresight on Poe so that they don't get their ultimate very soon, and then really, like, once you can, you just focus down their tank, and hopefully don't take it on the chin too much against Falcon. I guess you shoot Falcon a couple times just to get some of those stacks off of Falcon. Because once the Falcon does the AoE, well, it didn't do it this time, but if the Falcon does AoE, those stacks really help it. I think they inform the damage. No, I'm curious. I need to reread that kit. Reading ships kits is fun, folks. It's the most fun you'll ever have. Take my word for it. Let's bring in the Ebon Hawk here, I suppose. Take out some of these other ships. Cool. All right, only dropped 6 banners there. Yay. Yay. All right, we'll go back. We have Radis now, and we're gonna try to fight the rest of the Executor bunch, the Executor friends. And I mean, I'm kicking myself pretty hard because we've already dropped like 40 banners on squads just from fails, and then, you know, a few other incidental times as well, though I was pretty efficient otherwise. But now that we've dropped a minimum of 30 here on this fight, which is just, it feels bad. Feels bad, folks. We've already killed 3. Let's see, we've already gotten 5 banners from this fight because of all the reinforcements we've killed. You know, all the ships, and then there's 2 reinforcement slots that we would just get automatically. But we just need to... The good news is with these 2 ships, they can't really get their contract up, or their ultimate very fast. So usually the Radis can get its contract fast enough. And then I do have a strong enough Chimera fleet that I could finish off the stragglers as long as we can kill Executor. So kill Executor. Now let's do as many hits as we can. The Houndstooth has buff immunity, which means no bonus no protection up buff. So good. We did that the easy way this time. Thank you. And we actually got decent banners there, folks. Pretty decent, considering the +5 from that. And overall, we dropped 30 from that. Well, more than 30 in that ship zone. I mean, we dropped about 30 from that one fight, and then another like 10 across the other 2 ship fights. So another 40 there. Overall, dropped about 90 banners, 95. I made my opponent a mess up pretty decently. You know, and so what I had done for my stream was, I wasn't sure, but my opponent, well, my opponent usually attacks earlier, earlier than my stream, but they didn't this time, and they know that they can watch my stream if they want and do this. So what I ended up doing was, I said I was going to stream the next day, and then after I streamed my alt, I decided to just attack with my main account and then take away my, take down the VOD, which is like the replay on Twitch, for a while. So only if my opponent had been really dedicated and watched me at like, you know, 3 in the morning would he have been able to know what I had. So I was like, well, at least I don't think he's going to know what my defenses are. So that'll be a good thing, hopefully. Let's see how it ended up going. Okay, so they started off in the front zone with a fail against my Zori squad, Finn Zori squad, which is good. On the back zone, they failed against my my sortie squad. Hold on a sec. Alright, took a coughing break there, folks. Failed against my sortie squad, and then didn't fail against any other squads. I was asleep at the time. They attacked after I went to bed. And then, yeah, they failed twice against my Executor. So, hey, that feels kind of good that they failed too. It's just, man, I just hate it so much. Hate Executor fights sometimes. Bad RNG on both of our sides, probably. And the final result... my squad-to-squad efficiency was just a little bit more. We failed the exact same amount of times on almost the exact same squads. Like, my Zori team even had Resistance Hero Finn, just like they're the team that I failed against. And then the sortie squads were a little different, but they were still the same data Cron, and then we both failed against Executor. So, I mean, I was pretty sure my opponent was going to win because they had 5 Galactic Legends on offense, and they did one-shot a lot of teams, but they didn't quite get there. So, first off, I can't accuse my opponent of anything. I don't know if my opponent was going to watch my stream or not, but you've heard me talk about it lately. I just, like, I've had it up to here with my with people watching my streams and then, you know, using that information against me. And I know that that's going to happen. It's an inevitable thing, and I'm whining about it, and it's annoying, and blah, 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 blah. But this time, I thought I'd do something a little different about it. So I can't accuse him of doing anything. I don't know if that was his intention, but that was also, it was nice peace of mind, at least. I was like, you know what? Unless he watched the stream at super late night, he's not going to have the opportunity to know what I had unless someone was there taking notes for him, which I guess I can't discount the possibility of. But anyways, I was surprised at the results. Not that my opponent played poorly or anything. I just figured because, you know, he's like, we're in the top 50, we're, you know, top 25 even, and he had a way bigger roster. He had way better mods, way better everything, and he had 5 Galactic Legends on offense as opposed to, I only had 3 on defense. I just figured he'd be able to bludgeon his way through my roster pretty good, but it didn't quite happen that way, which I'm not going to complain about. And now, as a result of this win, I'm up to number 15, which isn't the highest I've been on the leaderboard. I've been to number 12 before, but puts me in an opportunity where I don't think that if I win the next one, I'll get into the top 8, like the top group. But I'd be pretty close to it. I'd probably be top 10 at least, maybe not. If I'm not going to be in top 8, then I guess I can't say top 10 at least. But seems like a good opportunity to move up a couple more spots as well. So we'll just see how it goes, folks. I mean, I don't know if I want to be in the top group, but it could be an entertaining week if I am. You guys can watch me get bludgeoned and destroyed all the way down to the hundreds. So one way or another, good start to the season, and yeah, good match to my opponent. Like I said, I really can't accuse him of anything. I don't know what his intentions were, and I don't mean to. I just decided this time I would do something a little different, a little more proactive, and it feels like it worked for me. Whether or not it had any impact on his actions at all is another question, but it feels good, and who knows what I'll do next, because I'm crazy, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.